Hey everybody, welcome back. Mark with Exotic Car Play Place, and today I'm going to give you a short demonstration. We're going to talk a little more detail about the SMG transmission in my E60 M5. Really, I'm going to demonstrate how it works, and I'm going to go even a little bit further, and I'm going to show you point of view. I'm going to demonstrate, and I'm going to basically exaggerate a little bit on the body movement as I'm shifting, but I'm going to do that shifting. I'm going to move and I'm going to allow the car to shift, and you can see the different shift speeds that as I alter the settings of the shift speeds, that you're able to see what that looks like, what that difference in shift speed looks like. I'm going to try it in both automatic mode and I'm going to try it in manual mode, and of course I'll do it in M mode, and I'll show you what the different speeds look like so you can get an idea, a bit of a sensation of how the shift speed changes. Now you do know, of course, the E60 M5 is the old variation, the SMG, which is a sequential manual gearbox that is basically utilized as a single clutch system. It's not the dual clutch system that you find in a lot of today's cars. The DCTs of today are much quicker, more aggressive, but the downside is they're much bigger and heavier and more expensive when they break. But the DCTs are phenomenal performers, but yes, they add weight. So that add weight takes performance, takes it down. So I guess in essence, does it compensate? Does that shift speed differential compensate for the extra weight? I think it does, but either way, the SMG is still a decent performer. It's still faster, much faster than anybody can shift by hand with a manual gearbox. But today I'm going to give you a demonstration on how this works, and then you get a bit of an idea of how the whole SMG concept works in general in the E60 M5. And please do ask any questions, share any comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. But let's get moving on this. And I'm going to start with the whole concept of engaging the car, what the experience is like. I'm even going to show you reverse. So let's get started, everybody. So firstly, to get the car in gear, or let's start with reverse. So to go in reverse, you put your foot on the brake, and you're in neutral right now, of course you can see. But to go to reverse, it's a lot like a lot of the modern dogleg manual transmissions. You pull it over, push it forward. Now you are in reverse. And that's as simple as that. And when you engage the car, ease off the brake, ease onto the gas, and it's going to engage like a manual transmission. So let's put that back in the neutral position, okay? Now, you'll see what this also can do here. There's a few options. You can either shift with the paddles, shift with the gear lever, or put it in automatic mode and shift in auto mode completely. So to show you, to shift, you need to toggle this, okay? That now puts you in the mode where I'm shifting manually, or potentially manually. Right now it's actually in drive mode. Hit it again, and it goes manual. You don't see the toggle here, but you see the toggle on the dash. So as I toggle back and forth, see I'm manual mode. Now I'm in auto mode. When it says D, that's basically automatic mode. Go back, it's manual. Go back to D, it's automatic. And so just by toggling it to the right, that's all that does. Then you want to go back to neutral, throw it back in neutral. That's all there is to it. Of course, when you park the car, you're technically supposed to park it in gear. So you can park it in reverse or gear, or one of the forward gears, but you could park it like that, turn the car off, done. That's how you would typically park this car. You would park it in gear with the e-brake. That's the safest way to do this. But let's get started. Now you'll notice, I'm going to try to start the car with it in gear. It's not going to work. So you park it in gear, but you have to first pull it to neutral, then it will start. You see how that works? It's a bit of a trick, but that's how it works. You park it in gear, but you have to put it back to neutral to start the car. It won't start in gear. It's not like an automatic transmission. This is still really a manual transmission. It's not an auto. So, that being said, you can, like I said, you can go drive or you can go manual. Now to drive manually, you can do that with the stick shift here. So you can up the gears or down the gears. Of course, if you go minus, that's shifting down be very careful. It's kind of, I find the system a little awkward. I'd say that's one of the things, the niggles I have about this system and using the stick, is your natural progression or your natural instinct is you're going up in gears, you should be pushing up. But that's not the way it is. And I find myself, I've missed a few shifts, not aggressively, but enough that, whoa, took you by surprise. So you'll notice on the stick shift here, negative or minus is actually forward. To go plus, you pull it down. You'll notice plus. Now, to me, that leaves a margin for error. So we're not even going to use this. I don't like using this. I basically like to put it, set it, and go. So then I use the paddles on the steering wheel. So let's show you how that looks. And I'm going to start out in a simple mode. This here, of course, is the other function. Now, I've had people ask me, what is this for? Well, you toggle this. You can either go right or left. And when you do that, you're adjusting the shift speed settings. So that's the speed at which the transmission will engage or disengage and shift between gears. And that also shows on the dash as well up here. As I toggle it, you'll notice I've dialed it right down to the minimum shift speed, super slow. But as I go up here, that's where you want to be for normal driving. Now I'm going to demonstrate what this looks like. So I'm going to go right down to the minimum speed, and I'm going to put it in auto mode, and then I'm going to put it in the fastest speed, and I'll do that again in auto mode. Then I will also do it shifting manually. I'll show you on the slowest speed, and then I'll toggle M mode, and I'll show you what the M mode looks like manually. So we'll do auto and manual in slowest and fastest settings, and hopefully that gives you a sense of what this car actually can do. Okay, so I'm in drive, and I'm on the slowest shift speed. So here we go. See how slow that is? Now we're in fourth. See, that's a very slow and lurchy shift. And that's the speed that gets criticized. A lot of people and the critics don't like these cars for its basic default mode. Now this isn't the default shift speed, but it's a pretty painful experience really. If you think about it, this isn't really the way you want to drive this car. Now, what I'll do actually, I'll give you one more. I'm gonna dial that up. You'll notice I dialed it to the midpoint. This is the default setting. So let's just slow down. So now I'll show you what it looks like in default mode. It's still quite lurchy. It's still pretty slow and sloppy. Now we're gonna, this is auto mode, fastest shift speed in auto mode, but still the 400 horsepower mode. So it's pretty good. So you can see that. So it actually has a pretty solid shift speed. It's still a lot faster than an automatic transmission. Okay, so now I've got it set up in manual. As you can see, it's the 2 and manual at the slowest shift speed here. So here we go. So it's pretty slow, but it does work, right? That's the slowest shift speed in manual. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna hit the magical M button, and that's the, basically that's the function. It's gonna give me fastest shift speed setting, most aggressive ride, differential is gonna tighten up, everything's gonna go crazy here. Boom. So we're in MDM, we're in M mode, and we're in manual. So here we go. Check out the shift speed on this one now. So everybody, I hope that kind of shed some light. You go from one of the dumbest, most awkward shifting speeds to one of the most phenomenal. From what I understand, it shifts in about 40 milliseconds when you're in M mode. So it shifts hard, it shifts fast. And not sure if you noticed, but we laid 3 patches of rubber there. Now it is a cool day here today, but there's no question this car's got power and it can lay it down pretty aggressively. So these cars, I love them. They're spectacular. They can be very easy. Like right now, I'm in manual mode, but I've got the shift speeds dialed up a little bit just so it's comfortable to drive and it's not so lurchy. But in essence, this thing can be as good as you want it to be or as bad as you want it to be in terms of shifting. And as far as I'm concerned, I normally drive around in 400 horse mode and just manual shift it because it drives nice, it's pleasant to drive. But when you really want to get down to it and you want to give it some stick, that's how you can do it. Hit the old M button and away you go. So everybody, I hope you liked that video. If there's any questions on how that all works, I hope this clarified some of that. The SMG is not as bad as the Rapid gets. Maybe not the most reliable system, but it works well. It's well suited to the car, and the gearing's perfect to get you to that 205 mile per hour if you ever choose to do that on the Autobahn or on a racetrack. So everybody, thanks again. Please do make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.